Hello everyone, welcome to CNA, the daily newspaper analysis. So today we have got the following bunch of topics to discuss. So let's start. But before starting, I just want to convey you all a message that we have got the offers in this festive season. So do join our WhatsApp group directly with the link given below in the comment section to know about our latest updates as well as some of the free study materials that were given to you all by us in this festive season. So let's start with today's analysis. So the first topic says about the UK to get the third PM. So we know about the political crisis presently going in UK because Liz Truss resigns as UK Prime Minister amid this political crisis. So the Britain's Prime Minister resigning as Prime Minister being in office for just 44 days, making her the shortest serving British Prime Minister in the history of the Britain. So trust resignation came after the meeting with the chairman of the 1922 committee. ठीक है, तो ये 1922 का जो कमेटी है, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कमेटी. ओके, पूछ दे सकते हैं कि हाउ दिस 1922 कमेटी इज रिलेटेड टू विच कंट्री दिस 1922 कमेटी इज रिलेटेड. तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, तो ये याद रख ले. So therefore, the group of conservative MPs without ministerial positions who can submit letters of no confidence in the prime minister. So this 1922 committee meets twice weekly when the House of Commons is in session and whose support is crucial for the Prime Minister to be in power. So the current government also saw several high-profile resignations in recent days, including former Chancellor Kwasi Kwarteng and Home Secretary Suella Braverman. Okay, so we could see about the recent politics that is directly going because आज ये जो atmosphere बना हुआ है just because it's directly the turmoil that we could see in their respective inflation categories. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे जो उन लोग का इलेक्ट्रिसिटी गैस एंड अदर फ्यूल्स, ठीक है, तो वो प्राइसेस बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ रहा है. And therefore, the UK's inflation today has accelerated to around 10.1% in September, which is 40-year high. ठीक है, और उन लोग का जो जीडीपी है, दिस जीडीपी fell by around 0.3% in just 3 months. Just if I consider from August till this October. So in this 3 months, it fell by around 0.3%. तो इसीलिए इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ गया उन लोग का. And the Bank of England of them has even previously said that it expects to UK to fall into a recession by the end of the year 2022. So therefore, it blames the UK's economic problems on very sharp increases in prices, especially for energy. Energy matlab electricity, gas, and other fuels. Okay, so यहाँ पे Prime Minister Liz Truss took office in September 2022, promising to re-energize the British economy and put the nation on a path to long-term success. But today, we could see that her tenure has been marred by turmoil as mortgage rates soared and the pound fell to record lows. And there is directly a chaos in the country's financial stability. So therefore, today we could see about that the Britain's Prime Minister Liz Truss is directly resigning after facing some of the growing pressure from this 1922 committee, which is the conservative MPs over her economic program that sent shockwaves through the markets. So the deeper macroeconomic changes and a stable government are very much required to bring UK back to a stable path of economic growth and manageable inflation levels. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए यहाँ पे एक छोटा सा एनालिसिस था अबाउट दिस एग्जिट ऑफ द ब्रिटेन्स प्राइम मिनिस्टर दैट इज लिज ट्रस. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं पेनल्टी ऑन गूगल. So today we could see about that the Competition Commission of India, that is the CCI, imposes a penalty of rupees around 1338 crore on Google. So this penalty on Google was for abusing its dominant position in multiple markets in the Android mobile device ecosystem. So they also issued a cease and desist order and even directed Google to modify its conduct within a period that is mandated by the CCI. So now it added that original equipment manufacturers should not be forced to pre-install a bouquet of applications. So now the CCI ordered the Google not to offer any incentives to smartphones makers for exclusively carrying out some of the search services. So therefore, we could see about that this Google's Android operating system powers 97% of India's 600 million smartphones. तो इसीलिए यहाँ पे जो अनइवन कंपटीशन चल रहा है बिटवीन द एंड्रॉइड मोबाइल्स एज वेल एज द गूगल. यहाँ पे जो उनका सर्च सिस्टम है, आज हम लोग कुछ भी सर्च करें तो वो कहाँ पे करते हैं, गूगल पे करते हैं। तो यहाँ पे जो दूसरे सर्च एजेंसीज है, so therefore we could see that such agencies could not progress just because of this partnership that Google have with these Android smartphone makers. So now this Google is facing a series of antitrust cases in India and a stricter tax sector regulations. So now if the CCI does not comes into prominence, then obviously the competition atmosphere in a country will totally ruin down. ठीक है, और ऐसा नहीं है ये पहली बार हम लोग ने किया है, ये गूगल को पहले भी 135 करोड़ के अराउंड ऑलरेडी सीसीआई ने चार्ज कर चुका था इन 2018। ऑल्सो वी कुड सी अबाउट दैट यहाँ पे किसने कंप्लेन किया था, भारत मैट्रिमोनी डॉट कॉम और एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन था, सोसाइटी थे, दैट इज कंज्यूमर यूनिटी एंड ट्रस्ट सोसाइटी। तो उन्होंने डायरेक्टली यहाँ पे जो सर्च बायस्ड होता है तो वहां पे उन लोग को कंप्लेन कर दिया था about the Google in the CCI. So now, if I say about the summary of all the problem over here, I could directly say that as part the latest move in the CCI crackdown on tech companies as the antitrust watchdog to rein in anti-competitive practices in the sector. So now the CCI has imposed a penalty on Google for abusing its dominant position in multiple markets in the Android mobile device ecosystem, which also results in anti-competitive and unfair trade practices. ठीक है, तो ये एक फाइन लगा हुआ है, so you should know about the CCI. तो देख लेना what is CCI and what are the implications that CCI has got its restrictions. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं, Interpol launches Metaverse. So उस दिन मैंने डिस्कस किया था अबाउट इंटरपोल, दैट इज द इंटरनेशनल पुलिस। ओके, सो दिस लॉन्च वाज डायरेक्टली ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ द 98th जनरल असेंबली, जो मैंने बोला था इन माय लास्ट वीडियोस, दैट वाज हेल्ड इन न्यू दिल्ली। So the world's first metaverse, specifically designed for law enforcement, was launched in this enclave or in this assembly. So what does it enables? It enables the registered users to take some of the virtual tour of Interpol's General Secretariat headquarters in Lyon. That is to interact with the other officers through their avatars. Also, it provides training courses on forensic investigation and other policing skills. So this newly launched facility is provided via the Interpol Secure Cloud. And now it is currently fully operational for use by the law enforcement official from around 195 member countries of the Interpol. So therefore, we could see about that today this metaverse will provide benefits like remote work capabilities, networking, collection, and preservation of evidence from crime scenes and capacity building. So now this metaverse role is expected to widen in near future with an estimated 1 in every 4 people spending at least an hour in metaverse to work, that is to study, shop, and socialize by the time of 2026. So this is going to be a major landmark when we today are directly expecting from this metaverse. Because in the future, the crimes targeting children, data theft, money laundering, financial fraud, counterfeiting, ransomware, phishing, and sexual assault, and even harassments are expected to occur in this metaverse. Okay? So therefore, it will create a forum for discussions of the such concerns among the members of Interpol. And it will address these issues and creating a secure future by providing training and capacity building opportunities for this law enforcement officials. ठीक है, तो ये एक न्यूज था अबाउट दिस इंटरपोल व्हिच वाज टेकन इन द रिसेंटली कंक्लूडेड 98th जनरल असेंबली हेल्ड इन न्यू दिल्ली। ठीक है, चलो नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं, आर्मीज एनर्जी प्रोक्योरमेंट। ठीक है, तो ये एक छोटा सा न्यूज था अबाउट व्हाट, अबाउट द इमरजेंसी आर्मी प्रोक्योरमेंट्स, that is with respective to some of the 3 tranches in the last few years. And also the Indian Army is preparing for a fourth round of emergency purchases, which will be entirely from the domestic industry. So these 3 tranches of the emergency productions were executed under which 68 contracts worth rupees 6,000 crore were placed. And emergency financial powers were granted to the armed forces by the defense ministry in the past, under which they could procure weapons up to rupees 300 crores on an urgent basis without any further clearances to cut short the procurement cycle. And therefore, it gives them an opportunity to test various systems in the field before going into for larger acquisition through capital budget route. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे जो प्रोक्योरमेंट है, तो यहाँ पे जो फोर्थ राउंड ऑफ प्रोक्योरमेंट है, तो ये एंटायरली डोमेस्टिक इंडस्ट्री से फोकस होगा। और ये जो 300 करोड़ रुपीस का एक amount है, that is very much dedicated to the Indian Army to go for the procurements without going in for any form of clearances directly from the government. ठीक है, तो ये था about the scheme. Then bringing African cheetah is an ill advised move. तो यहाँ पे जो हम लोग ने अफ्रीकन चीटा लाए थे, ठीक है, सो वी नो अबाउट दैट इवन दिस last year 2021 the Supreme Court also lifted some of the proposals not to bring this cheetahs from outside the world, outside this country. So यहाँ पे जो reintroduction on the species, तो ये क्या होता है, it means releasing it in an area where it is capable of surviving. So now these reintroductions of these large carnivores have increasingly been recognized as a strategy to conserve these threatened species and restore ecosystem functions. Because we know that the cheetah is the only large carnivore that has been eliminated mainly by overhunting in India in historical times. So the conservation of cheetah will revive grasslands and their biomes and even their habitats, much like the Project Tiger. So ये reasons for extinctions क्या था इन लोग का, hunting था, diminishing habitat था, non-availability of enough prey, ठीक है, so that leads to this extinction of this black cat by of this cat around 1952. Also यहाँ पे climate change का भी एक बहुत ज़्यादा रोल है. So now with the help of the Wildlife Institute of India and the Wildlife Trust of India, even the ministry will be translocating around this 8 to 12 cheetah, which was recently launched in the Kulo Palpur National Park in Madhya Pradesh, owing to the suitable habitat and adequate prey base. So now यहाँ पे जो 8 wildlife scientists हैं, तो इनके यहाँ पे जो चीटास रीइंट्रोड्यूस किया गया है 8 चीटास, तो इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन किया है कि हाउ डज इंट्रोड्यूसिंग दिस अफ्रीकन चीटास टू इंडिया इज एन इल एडवाइज्ड कंजर्वेशन अटेम्प्ट. कैसे ये इल एडवाइज्ड है, बिकॉज वी नो दैट यहाँ पे जितने भी क्लेम्स बताया गया है, तो इनके द्वारा ये क्लेम्स गवर्नमेंट का टोटली एक फेलियर है, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट मे नॉट डायरेक्टली मेक एन हैबिटेट directly for this cheetahs, which was totally been extinct during the time period of 1952s. तो यहाँ पे it was advisable to prepare a completely revised, rigorous, fully science-based action plan where to proceed with the idea of introducing cheetahs in future. तो ये बोल रहे हैं कि फ्यूचर में भी अगर आप सब ये काम कर रहे हैं about some of the other species, तो इसको भी आप लोग को देख के आगे बढ़ना पड़ेगा, ठीक है, because we know that this cheetahs, which is one of the oldest of the big cat species, with ancestors that can be traced back more than 5 billion back, referring to the Miocene era, because we know that the cheetah is the world's fastest land mammal that lives basically in Africa and Asia. तो अभी अगर हम लोग को फिर से रीजनरेट करना है, then we have to take care about their respective habitats and देखना पड़ेगा कि how this missions could have been successful. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे वो बोला गया है. Then addressing North India's burning issue sustainably. तो यहाँ पे what is saying about, it's saying about the stubble burning. तो stubble burning आप सब लोग को पता ही है कि what is this stubble burning, which is a process of setting on fire the straw stubble left after harvesting of grains like paddy, wheat, etc. And it is usually requiring in areas that use the combined harvesting method, which leaves both the crop residue behind. और ये कब होता है, generally during this period, that is October and November, and that can be seen across northwest India, basically Punjab, Haryana and UP. So इसका इफेक्ट हम लोग जान सकते हैं कि क्या इफेक्ट होता है, देख सकते हो यहाँ पे क्या इफेक्ट है. Pollution होता है, emits a large amount of toxic pollutants, be it methane, carbon monoxide, volatile organic compounds, carcinogenic compounds, and some of the various polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. Also, this could lead to eventually causing a thick blanket of smog. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे फिर से हम लोग जानते हैं कि सॉइल फर्टिलिटी का भी लॉस होता है, हीट पेनिट्रेशन ज़्यादा होता है. तो अभी आजकल बोला गया है राइटर के द्वारा भी, इवन गवर्नमेंट बहुत ज़्यादा स्टेप्स ले रहे हैं अबाउट द इन सिटू ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ स्टबल. For example, the crop residue management by the zero tiller machine and use of biodecomposers. Also, we could see about that how to use rice straw as cattle fodder, how we could use technology, for example, the turbo herbicide machine, which can uproot the stubble and also sow seeds in the area cleared. So, as we know, this burning stubble destroys a helpful raw material, pollutes the air, causing respiratory diseases, and even worsens the greenhouse gas emissions. Therefore, the need of the hour is to make some of the constructive use of stubble as animal feed and further utilize technology by enabling various alternatives like this like what I have mentioned about this turbo happy seeder machine, and even by using it as biodecomposers. So therefore यहाँ पे writers के द्वारा वही बोला गया है कि how we can address the burning issue of this stubble burnings, which is very prevalent today in the northwestern India, basically in Punjab, Haryana and UP. ठीक है, तो ये about the analysis था about this editorial. ठीक है, so this is all for today. We have got this 5 number of questions, also one means question. Please do attempt it. You will get the answers of this PDF in tomorrow's analysis. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you and Jai Hind.